Bango! The old pump jack. The pump jack. Get the coat hanger. How the hell did that come off? That was over here. Oh, way down yonder. Way down yonder. It's getting dark out there. It was pretty good all day. Actually, the sun was out most of the day. There's that one I was talking about. Let's see if I can grab it. There we go. Trash. Where's the trash can over there? Okay. Now how did I put any screws in here? Then I put them back before I meant. Well, that's not doing much. Nor is that one doing much. Almost acts like there's a lot more screws than there are. Okay, that's not supposed to be done here. This one, oh, there's one right there. Now, that's a fresh one. I put that in probably yesterday. No, maybe not. It looks fresh. But it's full of paint. And I don't want to move the bit. Okay, I want to get the ladder. I can't sit on top of that. I want a cup of coffee, or at least a sip. All right, let me get the ladder. So the game plan was for today, the wife picked up a nice spiral ham. And we were going to have that for dinner today. But I don't even know what today is. It's the 25th, I know that. But the night before last, might have been Friday night, I don't know. She said, I'm thinking about changing things. Oh, yeah, whatever, you know. She says, I think we're going to have the ham tomorrow, meaning Saturday. I said, okay, doesn't make a difference to me. You know, give me hamburgers. I'm happy. I don't care. She says, and we'll do a sauce, and we can have some lasagna that I made about a month ago that's in the freezer, which is probably perfect because I made it. But anyway, lasagna, she says, and then I'll make a sauce, and you know, with some, you know, the meatball, the pepperoni, the sausage, stuff like that. They really want to do. So that's what we're having today. I had to peel the pepperoni. If you're going to put pepperoni in your sauce and let it simmer, it'll give the sauce a little bit of a kick, not a whole hell of a lot. If you like pepperoni, you're going to know that it's there, right? But you're not going to really get wow, you know. if somebody doesn't like pepperoni, they're going to taste it immediately. However, you cut it into about 4-inch, 3-inch, no shorter than 4-inch slices. But before you cut it, you got to skin it. Even if it doesn't look like it has skin on it, more than likely it does. So just slice it right down, you know, make like you're slicing the skin, and then sit there, and some peels easier, some doesn't. Because if you don't slice it, it won't absorb the sauce. And that's what you want, because when it absorbs the sauce, it swells up just a little bit, you know, while you're cooking it, while you're simmering your sauce for the day. And it is a nice little taste in sauce, but the pepperoni, you can cut it with a fork. I mean, it gets that tender. You know, and like I say, it'll go from here to about there. I mean, it does. It swells up nice. If you don't skin it, though, you're just wasting your time. You're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy it. And if you slice it, it's worse yet. So don't slice it and throw it in. You need those 3 to 4-inch chunks. So this morning I got up and took care of that. And then she started the sauce. Oh, there is one right there. Now, I don't think it's going to fall, but at least we know we got the screw out of it. One of them, anyway. A big old puppy. It's going to stay up by itself, but I think I can yank it down and still maintain control. And I don't think it's going to go far, because the ladder's here and that's there. Get that out of the way. There we go. Boy, does that wall look good. Well, actually, it's the chimney. See what happens, guys? This all started with, I think I should run a new wire and take one down. I can stay. Okay. See, this is, oh, you can't see it, but that's that mess of wire over there that everything kept getting hung up on. I don't know if you can see it up there behind that board. There's like a bunch of wires all kind of scatzad. That is, every time I try to pull something through, it would catch on to it. That was the problem. Okay, now that that's done, make some room. What is this? Northern Tools. I haven't bought off of them since I bought that stove that time, and that furnace. And after the support I got with that furnace, I will probably never buy another thing off of Northern Tools. However, they may have wheels. I didn't think of looking at them for wheels for this Coastie over here. They designated her as a she. I may have to use that. Alright, let's get the rest of these bolts out of the way. Vacuum lines and rubber hoses. Let's take this out of here. Let's get, what else? I know I got my back here, guys. Sorry about that. What is this? Fireplace. Like, we're not going to need that anymore. I wonder if anybody else wants it before I dump it. I hate to throw it away if somebody I know needs it. And George is not, and these are my business cards. How many, which ones are these? I don't even know. Now when I say which ones, it's not like I got 100 businesses going. It's just that I got 2 or 3 different styles. This is the newer one. George is the old owner of the house. George, and his wife passed away. George, are you fucking with me? Keep knocking down this coat hanger. And it's nowhere near me. They were both in a convalescent home. The house was vacant for about a year and a half. We put the offer in, which they accepted. Which it played out pretty good. We actually came in kind of low, and they came back and asked for a little bit more. So we ended up going a couple $1,000, which wasn't a big deal. So we got it for what we were within what we wanted to spend. But we were living on the boat. We really didn't need it, and we had the condo, so we didn't need it, you know. But it was dated. It was the property. Everything just kind of said, "This is what we need." The neighborhood, the neighbors. So anyway, we put the offer in. We signed the contracts. And the house was in both the husband and the wife's name. And it wasn't either or. You always want to make sure it's either or, because if somebody passes away, the either or the or can take over. So anyway, she passed away during the sale. So I had to go to the lawyer and had to be put into court real quick. I mean, it only took a couple of days to do all this, but you know. It wasn't like it was you did it, guilty, you know. It was like, Judge, this is what happened. Okay, you know. And so we bought the house. He came down, George. He was in a convalescent, a retirement home. So one of the workers there took him out and brought him down here. And that's when I met him. I never met the guy before. I met him down here. He came in with his worker. He's looking around. He goes, "Oh, you just moved in." I go, "Yeah, we're still moving in." I said, "So, you know, we're just kind of straightening things up a little bit." He goes, "Yeah, the wife and I built this," and he's telling us the story, how they built it. And, you know, that's how we know the history on this whole thing. And, you know, so on and so forth. And what are you changing? I said, "Well, to be honest with you, we're not going to change anything." Which I was. But I said, because it's just the way we wanted it when we bought it. That's why we bought it. You know, what about that eagle over the fireplace? They said, "Well, if you want it, you can have it." I says, "If not, it's just going to stay there." "Oh, no, let it stay. So he was happy. I found a few things out here, pictures of him and his wife and his girl, his child, which is a pain in the ass. Was a pain in the ass. I don't know how she is or if she's even around anymore. She didn't give two shits about him. I went off to Chris and I told Chris, "Do you see George?" He goes, "Yeah, I visit him like every 10 days. I said, "Well, when you go to visit him, bring him these pictures. He may want them." He goes, "Well, I'll bring them, but they may not let him have them." I said, "Well, bring them, you know, and let it be on them if they want to throw them out, you know. But at least he can maybe pick one or two to have in his room, you know." So, and it was a duffel bag as well, with other stuff in it, you know, from the military. So he took it all over there, and he said, well, he was able to keep 2 or 3 of them, you know. He says, and at that point, I have them here, so when I go, I can bring up a couple at a time. So if he has to sneak them in somehow, he can. All right, that's good. So not long after that, though, he passed away. And when he was here, we were talking about the cabinets in the kitchen. I says, "I got to do something with those." I says, "I'm going to have to take them down and refinish them or something." I says, because, you know, even though it's dated to what we're looking for, we got to bring everything up and back a little bit, you know, modernize it some. He goes, "Oh, if you need a hand," he goes, "I can't do any manual work, but if you put me a chair out there with a saw," he says, "I can take care of all your cutting and things." I mean, here he is, like 90 years old, and he still wants to come over here and cut and do work with me. But he had passed away not long after that. So every time something falls, I kid around, and I blame it on him. So if you hear me say, George, you'll know why. It's one of those guys, I met him once for maybe a half an hour, and it's like, we were best friends. It's somebody that I would have hung with if I had met him sooner. All right, now let's take this off. Yeah, I must have run out of washers at the time. So I had a piece of metal I found, and a piece of tin. Because when I was doing this, I wasn't collecting a bunch of used stuff. Come on. All right, we'll work on this a little bit at a time. I don't think. Well, that may be better. Well, if it is, it's going to come apart together. First, put the paint cans away. Originally, when we bought this place and we started to put the fence up, I started putting up the wooden 6-foot stockade type fence. And every time I would go to Home Depot, they had the paint, yeah, you know what I mean. So you mix the color, nobody wanted it, so they sell it for like a buck a gallon, that type of thing. So every time I go down there, I buy whatever they had. It was like a buck, $2 a gallon. $7 for a 5-gallon, and I buy it because I would use it on the fence in the back. It sounded like this, but not this. Oh, what is this? Tom. Merry Christmas, Buzz and Darlene. And the pups. Well, it should have been Merry Christmas, Darlene, and Buzz, not Buzz and Darlene. But that's okay. She comes first. And Buzz. Are we on for tomorrow? Yes. Thank you, Tom, and the same to you and your lovely bride and your loved ones. Do appreciate it. Enjoy the day. Be safe, healthy, and have a joyous Christmas. And yes, I will see you tomorrow. Now, I should have checked that before I sent it because the voice thing on this thing doesn't work. Anyway, that's where a lot of this paint comes from. And then when I was buying paint, for painting the house, I would always buy an extra gallon or two for touch-up, just in case you needed it. You don't want to say, oh shit, I got to do that. Or I got to, tear down 5 or 6 shingles, and whoa, now I got to match the paint. It's bad enough that you got to match it after it's been on the house for a year. But at least you're starting close. That's something I may get done this year. I don't know if I want to do it or not. It may turn out to be a winter project. I still want to try to make some dioramas, but meanwhile, and really, take my time and think it out. I made 2 or 3 of them that were about this big, but I just said, let me just throw things together and see how it looks, get a feel for everything. But I want to redo the bathroom, meaning paint, because the sinks and everything, they're still good. There's nothing wrong with them. The new one I put them in 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. Yeah, about that. When we came in, the first thing that was changed in the bathroom was the toilet, and then it was the tub, and then the sink we left alone. We cleaned it, painted everything because he had built all that stuff. Well, it's actually more than that. So it's probably about 8 or 9 years ago. We redid the whole bathroom, a new tub again, new walls, we did everything. Double sinks, double cabinets, all that kind of stuff. We did a tile floor. However, I wanted to put a drain in the floor, and I wanted to raise the, when you buy a cabinet for the bathroom, it has that little kick plate underneath it. Well, what I wanted to do was knock off that kick plate and let them hang basically off the wall, but with a support underneath them, because I wanted them off the floor about 4 inches, 5 inches. And then I was going to put a whole, tile floor down, which we did, and just put a little bit of to it with a drain in the center. This way, if I wanted to go in there and hose down the floor, it would have done it. We could have mopped it. It would have drained. If you get out of the tub, you're dripping, it would have drained, but my 2 sons came over to help me that day, and everything was like wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So, it got done. It looks good, but I never had a chance to really hang the cabinets like I wanted or put the drain in the floor. So anyway, I want to redo the bathroom, basically repaint the whole thing. And the ceiling in there, the ceiling paint, I do the walls too. I may have. I think I used boat paint. It's white, it's all white. But I used boat paint because the boat paint, it has a little odor at first. So the first day, when you paint anything the first day, it smells like paint. But with the boat paint, it has a little bit more of a stronger smell. So we did it, we had the windows open, and the next day it was fine. Either that or we just grown immune to it. But it's real hard, and the ceiling is hard. It's got a nice gloss to it. Big dust mop type mops and duster. You wash one side, you flip it over, you can dust it. Well, that's how I do the ceiling. And the walls. Like, let it down in the tub, shake it dry. I do the walls and the ceiling, and it's done. It's like rolling on fresh paint, basically, but it's not. But anyway, I want to redo the bathroom. Okay, now how am I going to get this right? Because it's just spinning. Spinning wheels. Now what the hell is this thing I got down here? Hold on, we got another piece down here. What's this one say? Firearm classes. Yes. Okay. Just because you're bored with nothing to do over there with your family, leave me alone. Just stop. All right. Now, I don't think I would have put. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, oh. I have a home for those. On the trailer, the big trailer, for the tie downs, there was nothing there to really tie it down. So I welded these underneath the rail, like every 4 feet, which was good. And I'm saying I had enough. Well, I ran short. So way up front, there really isn't any. So now I have the 2 I need. I can weld those on the front too. That's got to get redone too. There we go. So the screws that are in here now, they were into this fireboard, so they weren't catching anything, but yet they were holding just enough, but not enough for me to unthread them. Make sense? Okay. Any surprises? Cord. Oh, there's more tin. Okay. A little bit of a surprise. Another end. Oh, come on. What's that? Oh, a little brush. Okay. Move that over. Oh, oh, I have a use for this too. Uh-huh. I'm going to throw it away, but not now. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm going to look at, put my broom, put my broom. And I found my broom. Yeah, I know. Nobody's going to see it, but I'll know it's there. Now, the reason for this, here's the game plan. Pushing this flat side here, I had pictures of my boat on it, up against here. Does this come off? No. Oh, shit. Okay. There's a picture of our boat and our mooring over in the Thimble Islands. Yeah, let me trip on that. Hold on. Okay, that's our boat. This was in New Haven Harbor. Sector was just behind us over here. Sector New Haven. I think this was, yeah, that's Sector New Haven over here. This is the lighthouse area behind us there. This is 52 overall. And then this, we call this Pish Rock. Our mooring was right there. We were on the boat on our mooring at this point. This is what we used to go to sleep with and wake up with when we were on the mooring. And we would normally go out there 3 or 4 weekends on a row, and not for a week or so, but we would go out there and grab onto the mooring like on a Friday afternoon and come home Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, sometimes Monday, and we just stay out there on the boat. I would bring either the jet ski or the tender this here way if we wanted to go into town, because Stony Creek, the center, was over this way, and took maybe 2 or 3 minutes to get there with the tender or the jet ski. Well, jet ski would be faster, but at that point, if we wanted to go pick up a pizza, and if nobody was coming this way, because if one of the tour boats, because we used to tour the Thimble Islands, they still do in the summertime. If one of them were coming this way, I'd call them and say, "Can you drop off a pizza?" And they would pick it up for me and drop it off, which was nice. But this we called it Pish Rock. And why that is because Sandy and Paul had a little puppy. And they had a mooring that was over this way more. So, and he had his tender. Well, when the puppy had to go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times a day, they would bring him over to Pish Rock and let him pee on the rock or whatever else he has to do. Now that rock will go almost completely underwater. So whatever's done on that thing gets washed away anyway. And so we used to call it Pish Rock. And then they started one time calling it Piss Island. So, but at that point, that's one of our views. Jane Pauley lived on this island over here, and her husband. Let me see, there was somebody else lived over here. I don't remember who it was. I think Oprah had a house out there, but she wasn't there that much. I'm not sure. I may be just spreading rumors at that point, but there was a couple of them there. Jane Pauley used to come in the store all the time. She was a nice person. Her husband was a kind of a weird person. Nice, but weird. Okay, what do I do with my charging cable? Here it is. Now I'm going to start tripping over shit because I'm not paying attention. Alright, so here's what we want to do. We want to move this over to there. Let's take this stuff down. The less I have up here I have to worry about, the better off it is. Is this the clear? Yes, this is the clear. Remember I told you I'd mark it. That's clear vinyl. Now what's this? Oh, this is a canvas. We used a lot of it, not this one, I'm sorry. We did use this in the beginning. When we put the new cabinets in, we put this on all the shelving because it's a canvas, as you can see. And it's washable, but it's not, you know what I mean? So we replaced it with another canvas type material that has a bit of a sheen to it. Just a bit. Let's look for those. There's a spring. 2 springs. Okay. How is this thing? Nothing I need. I can throw this one out. I wonder why. The trash can? Nope. These cords out of the way. These are some of the cords I started to redo. Not redo, but organize. I can't put them there, because if I put them there, they're going to get tangled up with the other ones. Okay, as you can see, a little wire that I started yesterday has turned into a job. Is this a white? No, this is window film. It's mirrored, so when you put this on, people can't see in, unless it's nighttime and you have the lights on. If you have the lights on in the house, people will see in. So don't think it's private. It is during the day. Shut your shades. Here's some extra bulbs, extra bulb casings, and extra framework. Okay. And that. Okay. Now, there's a lot of weight in it, but I think we can deal with it. I just don't want it to start falling off. Kind of walk it back and forth, back and forth. I don't want to trap myself in there, so let me scoot my ass out of here while I can. No, what's this down here? More vinyl, black vinyl. What's this one say? Buzz, firearm safety instructor. Okay, goody. I have no idea why I put Buzz on it. And I really don't know why I kept these. Well, I know why. You don't take up any room. Law enforcement agent, state and nationally certified. That was on one door of the van, and this was on the other. Blue card, instructor, pistol permit certifications. So, bail enforcement. I used to train bail enforcement agents. I did. And armed security, which was a pain in the ass. Some of them are good. Some of them are okay. Some of them, I don't know what they think, but they're wrong. You know, because they have a permit to carry arms. So you need a separate permit if you're going to work in a uniform as security with a firearm. You need what they call a blue card. On top of your permit. You can't get the blue card unless you got a permit. That's one of the classes that I wrote that's over there for the state of Connecticut. Training blue card students so they can become an armed security officer. Because most of them think because they got a badge and they're security and they got a gun that